Hi everyone, and welcome to the web edition of the Bachelorette edition of Cuse Countdown. I'm your host, Gabriella Rust, and here are my Bachelor analysts, Matt Reil and Drew Carter. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. So, to start off this Bachelorette edition, web edition, what are your Bachelorette? Who do you think is going to win The Bachelor? Do you guys watch the show?
I'm sorry, I cannot comment on this. I can analyze basketball, but not The Bachelorette.
Yeah,
so.
I can proudly say I have never seen a single minute of The Bachelorette.
Very proud of that, Matt Reil. Very proud
I
of that.
am very proud of it.
Well, for our Bachelorette fans, you'll have to stay tuned to the full show to watch our whole Bachelorette segment, but let's focus on basketball. Let's rewind to Virginia Tech game that was last Tuesday. Virginia Tech 60, Syracuse 68, so 8-point. That was in overtime. What's the big takeaway from this game?
And just the poise and control of this Syracuse team in the pressure moments. I mean, this is a win that they really needed to pull out. And the fact that it was an off shooting night, third game in 6 days, they weren't looking too good, and they have the poise and just the resolve to pull this game out. It's a big thing for this team. I was particularly impressed with Malachi Richardson. He did a great job. Didn't have a great first half, and that's the second game this has happened, but in the second half he stepped up, and overtime he stepped up huge for this team. A lot of poise for a freshman, which you don't usually get out of them.
Right, even though they didn't play that well, I think this was one of the most impressive wins of the season. Just because, like you mentioned, they struggled to shoot. The entire game, they were losing to a team they should have beaten pretty handily. Like you said, third game in 6 days, just really impressive. So much poise down the stretch. Great win for the Orange.
Well, the Florida State Seminoles will be coming to the Carrier Dome next Thursday. So let's take a look at the last time the Noles played NC State. Pull up the stats from that game. The final score was 77-73, so a bit of a narrow win there for the Noles. Dwayne Bacon really dominated in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's the star freshman for this team, 5-star recruit out of Florida, and he is a massive guard, 6'7", over 200 pounds. This guy can score at will, particularly in the paint, so this is going to be a big part of this game is how Syracuse can stop a guy like that. He's been on a roll lately, and so is Florida State. They've been playing much better of late, and that's something that Syracuse is really going to have to watch out for.
Right, and it's not just Dwayne Bacon, it's also Malik Beasley and Xavier Ratton-Mays. So many good guards in that FSU backcourt, and it's going to be crucial against Syracuse.
Well, with all these good players from the Seminole, what is your X factor going into this game?
Just talked about him. My X factor is going to be Dwayne Bacon, the freshman. He has been a star for this team. He is a top five. Right now, he's a top 5 in the freshman rankings, and he's a almost guaranteed lottery pick right now. He's playing out of his mind. It's a guy who, as I said, he's very big, very strong. He's a very good finisher around the rim, and he can penetrate the zone, which is something scary if you're a Syracuse fan. The one knock on him, he can't shoot threes, but he's lottery talent if he can get that.
Exactly. So mine is Syracuse interior defense, and that kind of goes along with your X factor because Florida State's offense is built in the paint. They don't shoot a lot of threes. They shoot 52% from inside the arc, and they have a lot of size. 2 guys over 7'3". So how the Orange defend those 2 big men along with the guards when they penetrate, that's going to be my X factor in this game.
Well, with both of these X factors, let's hear it. Final score for the game. Drew?
Give me Florida State 71, Syracuse 67. A little bit negative for Orange fans, I know, but another key in this one is will Florida State's freshman guards be able to penetrate that zone, get into the teeth of the defense that Syracuse plays so well? And I think they will because they won't be fazed by the Carrier Dome crowd like normal freshmen would. These guys have a ton of poise, as we've mentioned before. And don't sleep on Xavier Ratton-Mays, as I mentioned earlier. He's also a really good player. So I think Leonard Hamilton, experienced coach, won't let his guys get fazed by the noise, and I think Florida State comes out with a close win.
I'm going to go Syracuse 68, Florida State 64. Syracuse is going to take this one. I just think one of the biggest things for me in this game is the fact that Syracuse, after playing 3 games in 6 days, they have a 9-day break. They're going to be well rested, ready to go. And to me, that's really a big part of this game because you look at this team against Virginia Tech, they were very slow. They got off to a slow start. They looked like they were just tired. They're going to be well rested. And I think that this defense, which has been playing great over the last couple games, they've allowed over 65 points in 1 out of their last 7 games. games, and that was to Notre Dame, who only scored 66. The defense is playing out of its mind right now. They're going to be rested. I think they can take this one.
All right, well, we'll have to see what happens in the outcome of that game. But in the meantime, check out our Twitter at Citrus TV Sports and follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube page so you can see the Roses explanation. For my bachelors, Matt and Drew, I'm Gabriella. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the game.